What's your thoughts on government cover-ups or covert societies attempting to control humanity? Do you believe in ancient astronauts, intergalactic communication, or extraterrestrial visitations? Ever had an experience with disembodied spirits or the paranormal universe? Are these subjects fact or fiction? Each week, Tony and Eddie explore these unbelievable realities and beyond. Exclusively on Truth Be Told.
Welcome back to Truth Be Told, where we believe an experience becomes truth. I'm your host, Tony Sweet. Along with me now, world-renowned psychic, Eddie Connor.
Hi, everybody. Today, Tony and I invite you to join us for a new episode of the Energy Healers Cafe with our spiritual master healer, Nicky. First, though, a word from our sponsor, Earth Friendly Products.
For over 40 years, Earth Friendly Products have brought you the greenest home merchandise for all your family needs. Learn more at ecos.com. That's ECOS.com.
And Michael Terrell invites you to experience 7 amazing new musical tones found to relieve stress, promote healing, break negative cycles, and also to restore sound sleep. You can learn more at sweetwholetones.com.
Our guest today is considered one of the most prominent, heart-centered healers of our generation.
Nicky, the spiritual master healer, resides in Los Angeles, California, and is noted for being one of the best healers in the world. While many regard him as the best-kept secret in LA, Nicky is a spiritual man who has treated thousands of people with various ailments. He has also worked with his clients to achieve many miraculous results. Please put your hands together and welcome our next guest expert to the Energy Healers Cafe, Nicky The Healer.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi, everybody.
We are here with a talent and a spiritual guru, and we're so honored to have him in studio with us today. Eddie, would you do the honor to get us started and rolling?
Absolutely. How are you doing over there, Mr. Nicky?
I'm doing just great.
Good.
Thank you for that invitation. It's a great honor for me.
Awesome.
It's a great honor. Such a spiritual event always inspires me to participate.
Yeah.
And
And it's exciting to step into something new. This is Nicky's first time ever doing radio.
Oh, really? Well,
and
congratulations and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And he came in wired and loaded with energy summoning to him. You can feel it.
I can feel
the
it.
whole room is like filled up with lots of good energy and good light. Can't you tell?
I can tell.
Now, so Nicky, tell us how your life as a healer began. I mean, when did you first realize this was an amazing gift you had?
I have it. I was born with this, but the spiritual awakening was missing. It was just like how can I explain that in a simple way? Mostly, it was like I was in more for social life. I was a very social guy in Europe, and my real spiritual awakening started in 2001. Started in 2001. It was the real start that I dedicate my life to only to spirituality, healing, spirituality, light work. As a light worker, channeling the light for planet Earth, all humanity, all God's creations, which is called light worker. In ancient time was called the children of the light. It's all the same. And so through my medium, I was told that I have it from past lives. Archangel Metatron said through my medium, John Hirano, that I have it from past lives. He said, that's what you have. You don't have it from this life. You have it from past lives. Which just somehow proved that every life is just one chapter of our eternity. Every life and incarnation in flesh is just one chapter of our eternity. We're in one constant cycle from spirit to flesh until we get our perfection. This is the way of...
So speaking of the past lives, Do you believe that we carry our intuitive gifts from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime if we remember them, and then we just keep layering each lifetime on top of each other?
It is going couple different ways. Can go through the spirit, the way it is given to me, the way that I have it from one incarnation to another. Sometimes it's going through the genes. Let's say if the parents or the grandparents are healers, then it's going through the children too. Or can be given also in a way of spiritual work in that present life.
Yeah.
We constantly evolve. There's always a constant evolution, that once we're doing the spiritual work, we're going to higher and higher level, spiritual level.
Right.
See, as humans, most humans, the most sadness about our human nature is that we're concerned more about the flesh, our physical body, but actually in reality, our real concern should be the spirit, our spiritual body. Spiritual body, light body, this is all the same. Light body, eternal body, etheric body. It is called etheric body because the spirit is going to the etheric realm, which is no flesh, etheric body, and which is the spiritual dimensions, which is the in religious way also the 7 heavens, so the 7 spiritual dimensions. And so my point was, I changed a little bit the subject, that our real concern once again should be our spiritual body. Our real wealth is our eternal wealth, which is our spiritual wealth. That we constantly growing, which is called in some Far Eastern religious and spirituality also the karma. The karma.
Oh, yes.
Purification, the karma, yes. So once we reach that level of the karma, that get our perfection, that we always respond with love. We don't know, just we love all God's creation just like one. Feel oneness with one. Then we don't need to come again in this dimension, which is that we are third dimension now, So this is the reason I mentioned that our real destiny, our eternal destiny, is our spiritual wealth, our spiritual growth. That with each incarnation we should go to higher and higher and higher level.
Yeah.
Which is higher spiritual level, higher dimensions. Our eternal destiny is practically to higher and higher dimensions. This is the great part of spirituality, that is it's eternity. There's always higher and higher and higher and higher. There's always higher. There's no limit about spirituality. There's always higher. We become saints, then eventually become ascended masters. Then there are many levels of ascended masters too. The highest levels of ascended masters are the avatars, like Jesus, like Buddha, like Krishna, like Babaji. This is the highest level, which is avatar is considered like a god. That's what is. The gods, the lords. So I'm taking these opportunities with this talk show just to present that information, to give that information to all those who listen, that the radio right now, broadcasting, and I also would like to mention about the changes that's coming now that we need to go to more oneness, more like care each other, more concern about each other. This is the great time for balancing of the karma. Those who have more to share with those who have struggle, have nothing. In many countries in the world right now, people even don't eat enough, if you think about it. This is so it's a great time for balancing of the karma. Light workers should work much harder for the great shift. The great shift is coming right now. That's what is called the new coming golden age. They call it Aquarius, new coming golden age. Great shift is all the same. And those who are spiritually awakened should offer their light, offer their energy for the new coming golden age. because on the principle of that everything is energy, we can make the things easier, not that hard. Like that, like, let's say, for example, like the time in Noah, you know. Yeah, right now there's more light workers than ever before. You know, many light beings choose to come to incarnate, to serve the light on planet Earth, to make that change that is coming, that is unavoidable, easier, you know, much more easier. Once again, the principle that everything is energy.
That's
So
great.
when you say more light workers now than ever before on planet Earth, you mean both physically, what you're doing, as well as non-physically, the spirit guides, the angels, the archangels, the avatars, etc.
Both.
Good.
Yes, both. This just archangels, angels, they're much more on lower level now. Ascended masters, saints, you know, all of the eternal servants of God, if you can call it that way. They're on much more lower level to serve the light. And many, the physical level I'm talking about, that many choose to incarnate.
Yes.
To serve the light in flesh, you know. So it's a great event right now. This event is happening to, it's very rare, it's happening to each 25,600 years. It's a great opportunities to serve for those, especially who the light workers.
Right.
Every single human should radiate love, radiate good energy.
Well,
you know.
I'd like to ask you this, because something you said right at the beginning, you said you were born with this gift,
Yes.
but your spiritual awakening was later. I want to know, right before the awakening, what was your life like right before you awakened spiritually?
I was social, very social, yeah.
But social, but were you like in turmoil? Were you seeking, or was it something that just kind of came to you?
I mean, parties, just like, you know, dating women, parties, you know,
Right.
just that was my, you know, if I can call it, that was my life, you know.
Yeah.
But what was there something that happened that really awakened you?
To the spirituality.
To the
The
spirituality.
awakening is just when it's time, it's time. There's not any particular big event. I was involved with in Malibu. I was involved with SOS, helping work people. That there was event about helping poor people, and that really helped me to go to that oneness and to step out from the social life, you know. And you see, my awakening wasn't. It didn't happen just like all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Went also to a couple of different levels, you know. Yeah, just I did some healing in Malibu, and then eventually I did sciatica. Sciatica, I even didn't know what I was doing. It was like, because sciatica is medical word, you know. If you don't experience it, or you don't have it something, or you don't hear it from somebody, you don't know exactly what that medical word means, you know.
Right.
Especially for me, like as a foreigner, you know. I have to be doctored, so I did sciatica, and that completely just because the person said I have sciatica, I have pain in the back. I placed my hands, and the healing was done. And that was, I would say, that was the real event that really made me to step on my healing. You know, I said, wow, this is like, then I shared this with a friend of mine who is a doctor. I said, I did sciatica. He said, Nicky, you did surgery. I said, what's going on? I still don't know even when it was done. He said, you did surgery. I said, this can be done with surgery. I said, what's going on? So if I can call like in a way of spiritual awakening, of healing, that was the real event. I said, wow, this is like, I pressed my hands without touching, and surgery is done, and I said, this is my life, you know. And then I met some mediums who gave me some guidance also, channeling from the spirit.
Yeah.
And
which is something else you do. You can tell you do that yourself too. You can tell that you are a channel.
Oh yes.
Just in what little bit of time you've been here, that you definitely just channel it right on through you too.
Yeah. You see, I'm a very active light worker, once again, constantly receiving and giving. You know, what is exactly the light of the work of the light worker? The light worker is That's what Archangel Ariel said in a book. He said, we see you like a vessels of light. He said, the spirit see like a vessels of light. Just like can be called also vortex, like a human vortex of light. So you receive the energy from the light, from God's light, and give, receive and give, constantly receive and give.
And so you've done this healing work in Europe, and you've also done it in the United States. I would guess that the United States probably has a lot more problems in the body than maybe Europeans do, or different.
I started doing the healing here in USA. To be
okay.
honest. Yeah, I started doing here. My awakening. I've been in America since 1991.
Okay.
So practically my whole spiritual path in this incarnation, in this physical life, is in America. Yeah.
Wow.
I was only social guy in Europe. The energy was there, but I never use it. Use it for joy.
Right. Can I?
And it was given much more to me after the awakening, of course.
Right.
It was because there's many levels once again of healing.
Right.
Since I got my spiritual awakening, I've been to many more higher levels. Even I have clients who are telling me that, let's say that I met them like 5 years. They've been with me like 5 years ago. They come in and said, it was like I'm getting session from a different healer.
That's good.
I
That
mentioned
is
once
amazing.
again that the more you serve the light,
Mhm.
the more we're doing the service, the more you receive. The more we give, the more we receive. This is
Especially
special.
from that spiritual platform
Right.
that you spoke
Right.
about. What were you
Yes.
going to say, Tony?
Well, I'm just going to ask because I said I'm always an enthusiast. I'm not a psychic, but I'm an intuitive, and I want to say a couple things how I felt when you came into the room and when we started talking. But first, I want to ask, when you have your hands up, because I grew up in the Midwest, and in church they raise their hands a lot. What is holding your hands in this position? Is that something that calls on energy, spirit? What does that do for you?
I'm just active light
'Cause I'm
worker
sure
right
people
now.
are
I'm
wanting to know.
I'm receiving in constant. I'm
Mhm.
very active like that. But
Mhm.
either way it works. But this is like one of the most powerful way when the palms are straight up.
Because energy comes through
Yes.
head and palms.
Yes, there's through the palms, through the 7 chakras, through the
Mhm.
crown. You see, in my case, my right hand is the healing hand.
Oh, really?
I receive with the left hand. It doesn't mean that for everyone is the same, but most likely it's like that, yeah. So I'm receiving mostly with the 7 chakra, with the crown and the left hand, and then I'm giving, transmitting with the right hand.
Well, but what I was feeling, and I don't know, I'm just going to say, like I said, being around Eddie and all the other psychics is just say, or how you feel or what you see. What I was feeling was not energy coming towards me, but pulling negative energy from me towards you. Does that happen a lot? Because I felt like the bad energy in me was like pulling out of me and going towards you.
Now, the curious part of me wants to know what that was.
I don't, but that's what I don't know. For like a split second, it was like an anxiety.
Yeah.
And then I felt it go towards you, but then I felt very relaxed. And I wondered what that
Well,
could be.
you're in my energy field. My energy field is very big because you're a spiritual man. You're open.
Mm-hmm.
I have many experiences. People feel my energy from a distance. So that's what happened. Practically, I'm giving you a session right now when I talk to you because
Yeah.
you're in my energy field.
Right,
You're getting
right.
your healing when we talk.
And
Thank you.
and there's
Thank you.
almost a straight across
Yeah.
feeling, which is that wonderful exchange.
Yeah, it was just
Yes.
like I could feel my upper lip start sweating, and I felt anxiety, and I just felt this like going out of my chest, not my stomach, but my chest, straight towards you, and then I felt relaxed. And
Heart.
that's why I was just like,
Heart
I was,
energy.
yeah.
That's great. You're very open. You're very intuitive. You're very open. You're definitely doing some advanced meditation. Are you doing some advanced meditation?
No, I don't. I'm very ADD, so it's hard for me to sit in one spot. But my meditation I do in other ways, either hiking or
Yeah.
Go
Or
ahead.
even sometimes gaming.
gaming.
Yeah, he as long as he engages his conscious mind with certain games he'll be playing, and then he's like a better receiver.
Yeah.
For him.
For me.
Yeah, that's really great.
Well, thank you. Well,
so you have it practically something from past life. I mentioned also about the past life. You have a lot of potentials from past life to be so much open. Even that you're not practicing this life, You see, we carry the karma, our entire karma. Just many people think that because they don't know that, they think that just like sometimes they said, look at that man or that woman, did such a bad things and nothing happened. Where is God? What's happening? But we don't know that man or that woman, what was their life in the past lives. They might have some great karma in the past lives. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, yes.
Maybe it's meant for them to come to incarnate in this life to experience something negative. We don't know. Only the Great Spirit know our entire existence since we've been created.
And have you had a readings? And you may have mentioned a reading with an intuitive or psychic
And mediums. Yeah.
about your past lives.
Well, the thing is that I want to go back to that event with a reading that Archangel Metatron respond. Archangel Metatron, he is the leader of the archangels.
Right.
He's the leader of the archangels. He's called the Lord of the Light, Lord of Light. That was his one of his incarnation was actually he's in the Bible as Enoch.
Oh yeah.
So even the archangels incarnate, like the most beloved high priest of God, that he was invited to see the seven heavens. So that's the same high being, Archangel Metatron. So he said, you see, the Great Spirit usually never reveal too much about us in a past life, because they don't want us to deal with our ego. They want to avoid our ego.
Makes sense.
The guidance of the Great Spirit is to give guidance to do our work in this life, because the past is past is past. No one can change it. It's there, but no one can change it. So that's what Archangel Metatron told me. He said, we're not going to tell you who you are, but more discipline, more focusing. That was response. I don't know what is my eternal name, spiritual name. I don't know anything about that, And usually it's never revealed unless there's a reason for this. You know what I mean? It's never revealed that eternity is, in my understanding, just to avoid ego, to avoid anything just like that somebody might just like go to, in a way of like, once again, the Great Spirit real concern is that we do our best in this life.
Right.
What we are doing in this present time. Past is already past. All the great teachers' teaching is living in the now, living in the now, living in the now.
And I think
staying in the heart. This is the mastery. Staying in the heart, where our soul resides, and radiate love to everything. Radiate love to everything. This is the real mastery. Sanat Kumara is calling this. You see the great. The avatars, that was one of very high avatars, also Sanat Kumara, the great Lord from Venus. He's calling this going in your cave. Jesus was calling this going into your closet. Most of the high beings, they're always talking in a little bit in parable, but this is all the same. Stay in the heart, stay in the heart. This is the biggest mastery. When you stay in the heart mentally, you always radiate love. One is with your spirit, with your soul. You always radiate love. The heart chakra is the chakra of the love. Love, compassion, everything is there.
Which would be why when we as humans are deliberately doing what we love to do, especially if it affects people in a heart-open way, that's why life is easier, can be easier, and doors and opportunities and windows will open for you when you're coming from love. I love doing the readings. I love having guests like this on. I love giving new information out to the mass consciousness in a heart-centered way. And because we love it so much, what ends up happening is all kinds of other opportunities come to us while we're doing our life's work.
Yes, exactly. Everything with love. Everything with love. Everything with love.
So what is it, Nicky?
Love, everything that surrounds us, do everything with love, everything with love. God is love. I have my own quote. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
My own experience, spiritual experience, helped me to create my own quote about spirituality that I would like to share with you and with all of the people who listen to your show. That God is love. It is written in the Bible, in the Holy Books. God is love. So when we are with God when we love.
Mm-hmm.
That's my quote that I'm sharing with you.
Yeah.
God
Thank
is
you.
love. So what is love? God represents all of the good just as well as God. I love you, so I'll forgive you. I love you, so I'll give you. I love you, so I'll let go. So I have compassion on you. So I'm going to think about you because I love you. Just like, and all of the good, So just it's, so love, yes. It's all about love, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's as simple as
All of the prophets, if you think about it, doesn't matter what religion, all of the prophets, no matter what religion, no matter what part of the world, all of the prophets, all of the saints, all of the
Mhm.
great ones who came here to present some teaching. The primary teaching is always love. The primary teaching is always that everything we're doing everything with love.
How does one in this world right now, and I mean every generation has had their struggles, but with so much hate, discrimination, media that promotes negativity, how does one come to start really getting in contact with that love and that heart chakra and start excelling that love out to the universe that we need so badly? I think a lot of people need that right now. And how do we even begin?
I mean, practicing. One of the major key about practicing is self-awareness. Living in the presence, living in the now, and always have that self-awareness, what we are doing.
Mm-hmm.
So practically, not only what we are doing, or what we are thinking, what we are saying, what we are doing. We have to be in that constant self-awareness about our deeds, this present time, very now, our conversation, and even our thoughts. Then, step by step, it will get better and better and better and better, yeah.
And it becomes
Practicing, it's not going to happen just out of the blue,
Right,
that's
no.
for sure, yeah. Unless we're angels, but we are not so.
And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to On Air with Tony Sweet's Truth Be Told show. Today we're doing the Energy Healers Cafe with Spiritual Master Healer Nicky. I'm Eddie Connor.
I'm Tony Sweet.
And what we're talking about today is, well, first of all, the power of love and practicing staying in that place even when it feels like everything around you, it's looking like it's going to hell in a handbasket, as they say back home. And what Nicky is sharing with us are these ways to keep holding that loving space within ourselves by staying in the present moment, by becoming more aware of that which you are in a non-physical way, meaning the heart chakra especially, staying in the present moment in that spiritual awakened place, and to be very aware of our thoughts and our feelings and our frequencies as we do it. So I would love to know how you do the healing work that you do and what you see intuitively or hear or sense as you're doing it.
My healing, I don't touch, with the frequency of my energy, my level of my energy, I don't touch. And I place my hands, scanning the whole upper body, where practically most of the problems, organs, glands, everything is the upper body, And scanning the upper body, and by transmitting the energy, I feel the blockage, kind of detect. I feel that resistance.
Okay.
Whenever there's a blockage on the body, I feel that resistance.
Right.
So it's got pretty much like I'm doing the scanning, detecting, and healing at the same time. Yeah, just
Scanning, detecting, healing
yes,
simultaneously.
Yeah, I'm scanning the body and just detect where the problem is. Then I spend time until the blockage is removed, and then I'm going to the higher level of the body. Just going to the 7 chakras. I'm doing, I would say, I'm doing something that is very important Even many spiritual people don't know this part of the body. This is well known in the Far East, like Tibet, India, China, Japan, Nepal, the Far East. It is called, Japanese call it the Hara points. You've ever heard about Hara points?
Hara?
Hara points,
Okay.
yes. It's coming from, you see Harakiri?
Mhm.
Harakiri is the main point, which is under the second chakra, which is like about pretty much the second chakra is somewhere in the middle between the Hara main point
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and the belly button.
Okay.
So, so that's what brought that word Harakiri is coming from. Whenever the shoguns and samurais fail,
Mhm.
they commit suicide right in that
Oh,
point.
that's-
Sudden death.
Oh, I
Yeah.
always
I was
wondered.
wondering.
Right there,
Word.
yes, it's
Why?
coming from Harakiri, from Hara points. Yeah. So this is the main point that they just instant death, you know.
Wow.
And this is a very important point. Actually, there's some other points all around here, around the belly button, but this is the main one. That is called tandem. And Archangel Michael talking about that whenever the tandem and the second chakra, there's a blockages, they don't function normal. Humans are not even able to breathe normally. You know, in Chinese faith, they call them dantian.
Dunkian?
Dantian.
Oh, Dantian.
Dantian in Chinese means heavenies. This is how highly the Far Eastern masters think about these points.
Heavenless.
Heavenies.
Okay,
heavenly.
heaveness.
Heavenies, yeah.
Okay.
Like heavenies points, yeah.
Okay, good.
So whenever these points open up, that completely move the people to the next spiritual level. You know, they connected with the 7 chakras, main chakras, meridian points, but they also somehow govern the 6 body systems.
Hmm.
So they're like a bridge between the 6 body systems and the energy, which is the chakra system.
Yeah.
Something really very important. So
It's amazing.
I'm doing this and I'm getting very good results. Many people telling me change my life. You know, just generally a healer with a very high frequency of energy can do that.
Mhm.
Also, there's a real. This is the highest level of shiatsu masters therapist. Yeah, shiatsu massage masters.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is the highest level, but not many can do that. Yeah, I even talked to some shiatsu masters. Very interesting. They even don't know about this part. I said, "I'm shiatsu master. They know about Haraponsi." I was like, surprised. I said, probably they didn't get the right classes anyway.
Right.
But they don't know even that it exists. You know, very interesting. But you know, of course, not all of them. You know, but so this is very very important part of the body. Yeah, that's Chinese learn. You see, India is like a mother of all spirituality. Chinese learn this from India. This is I mean, just, and then eventually Japanese learn this from Chinese.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
funny.
it's all connected, yeah. But India indeed is a country that practically everything is coming from there. Yeah, the whole spirituality, everything is generally is coming from there. Yeah,
Hmm.
that Archangel Metatron is talking. See, even with that example, very interesting. Archangel Metatron, once again, one of the most beloved high priest of God, as of Judea.
Mhm.
And meanwhile, he's talking about India. He's calling India like the Great India. So
Mm.
once again, in the spiritual realm, there's no separation. One of the biggest setback of humanity is the separation, and we separate even God. You know, if you think
Oh,
about
yeah.
it, this is one of the
Mhm.
biggest setback. You know, just. But in the spiritual realm, there's no such kind of things. You know, all of these high beings, the avatars, the ascended masters, saints. This is the reason why they call it the Great White Brotherhood. You know, they have one name which is called the Great White Brotherhood.
A great white.
The
brother-
Great White Brotherhood.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Great White Brotherhood. You know. So, but this is the dimension. You know, what can we do? We learn. We need to get on with this and make the things better. You know, make
Mhm.
the things better. And once again, love. Because we can make once again that change that is coming now. It's unavoidable. More easier with love. Radiate always love. Make the energy better. Light workers work harder. You know, eventually more light workers become light workers, those who are doing spiritual work adventure, they'll become light workers too,
Yeah.
Everything is process, everything is practicing, everything is work. Nothing can be done without work.
This is true.
Yeah.
And are you comfortable doing like a small demonstration for the audience? Like a healing demonstration?
Hearing demonstration?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to, those who listen, I believe many of them will receive, who are doing, of course, spiritual work, who do some meditation. They need to have some level of spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
Those who listen just because of curiosity, they might not be able to feel something, or they might not even take it serious. I would like to do a short session, close my eyes and talking, and I'm asking all of the, how many minutes we can,
About 4 minutes.
4 minutes?
Yeah.
Let's do that, yeah. So I'm going to close my eyes, and those who listen, that radio network, close your eyes and keep your palms upward and focus on my voice. Focus on my voice. I'm asking all of our spiritual guides to participate and to assist with that event. My guides, your guides, all the eternal servants of God. Focus on this, focus on this, focus on my voice. Focus on my voice. Channeling the light with my consciousness for Los Angeles. I see some colors, rays, which are called the rays of the Holy Spirit, also related to the chakra system. If it's meant to be, we might experience something in a way of vision, spiritual symbols. You might see even images. Focus with this. With love, God is love. Focus with love. Faith without doubt and unconditional love.
And we'll bring it back down into the room.
Okay. God is love, God is love, God is love. Just love one another, just like all the great ones who came here, teach us for thousands of years. More light, more love, more light, more love, more light, more love, more light, more love.
If you're just now tuning in, we are working with Nicky the Healer. This is Truth Be Told with Eddie Connor.
And Tony Sweet.
And Nicky is a spiritual master healer. The title of this show is the Energy Healers Cafe. and he's demonstrating the energy of pulling in higher frequencies and sending that out to Tony's audience. He's explaining the more spiritual you are in your awakening, the more likely you will be to feel and experience the frequency, which I can totally feel.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And we have about 10 more minutes left of the show. And what is it you're experiencing, Nicky? What is it you feel in your body as you're sharing that energy with Tony's audience?
I'm just receiving and giving, and focusing. Sorry. With my consciousness, I'm just like visualizing, filling Los Angeles with light.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, visualizing. Visualization is very important also. Consciousness, the thoughts, sending the energy. But once again, those, for sure, some people will experience that. I did many times group sessions. And very interesting group sessions, everyone experienced different.
Mm-hmm.
You see one channel, which is, I'm calling myself channel, the Healer's channel, somehow. And one channel, and people experience with people in a circle, like 15, 16 people, and everyone experience different things, just sometimes healing is done for someone, sometimes people see images, people see spiritual symbols, people see visions, or chakras balancing is done,
It's beautiful.
So it just proved that there is evolution from that experience. My personal experience, I realized there is evolution. There is evolution, Some people receive more, some people receive less. And some people, whenever there's something beyond the colors, the rays, which is the visions, images, you see the spirit images and spiritual symbols. This is proof of a higher spiritual level.
That's beautiful.
The person who receives it that way,
Right.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Most of us in the room are of a certain age, except we have our producer, Jacob, who is a little younger. And I'm curious to ask Jacob, what did you feel during this meditation or this healing?
I just felt a lot of my energy just like, going out and just like filtering. So if I had like any like negative vibes within myself, I just felt it kind of just like fading away. And just everything just going calm and peaceful, very tranquil in the room. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And Nicky, do most people that come to you, is it of somebody of over 30, over 40, or is it people of all ages?
People of all ages, yeah. I have very interesting experience I would like to mention that might inspire parents to start teaching their children to spirituality. That I have a client that he was with me like a year ago, and then he brought his children.
Oh, that's great.
11 years old daughter and 8 years old son. And they were ready. They just sat down on the chair and just like kept their palms upwards and just ready, closed their eyes. And the father said, I got my spiritual awakening through you, and I'm teaching my children. And that was really I was full of admiration. I said, God bless you. This is like, I wish every parent do that to their children, spiritual awakening at a very early age, because the children, they're so open, especially
Before they get.
before they start, become adult and
yeah.
start chasing the money, as usual,
Right.
But this is something extraordinary that could be even kindergartens, elementary school can go to these activities, at this present time. That would be, if some people present this in schools, that would be something extraordinary, yeah.
I think we'd have a lot
Actually
better world.
can boost even once again the whole process of the new coming golden age, because the children, they're just like the early age, they're like angel, and there's so many blessed children right now. Right now we have indigo children. This
I was
is
gonna ask about
indigo, crystal children, and rainbow children. This is whenever the spirit is much more advanced, like coming to incarnate like a high being. That's what is the rainbow children, indigo children, or crystal children, So right now, there's so many. This is like millions, yeah. If you pay attention and see the early age children now, like babies, kids, they're just look at them, feel like walking angels, like walking angels. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Are there parts of the country or parts of the world that seem to have a more saturated area of the higher beings that are coming in as far as the children go, in your opinion?
Right now, the biggest focusing right now, for some reason, is America. Yeah, it's America. The biggest focusing. Even people from Far East coming here, just might be related also to the Bible, actually. That this is like that God is saying, God shall cast out for new land for His people. I don't know exactly what was exactly the, it was actually prophesied that the new land will be found. New land in the Bible. Yeah,
right.
Goes with that practically. Christopher Columbus discovered America eventually, so the biggest focusing of light worker right now, more light, more energy, this is America,
Right.
This America is related to also to this, that Atlanteans, this used to be all Atlanteans and Lemurians,
Yep.
So the biggest focusing of the best to be done, I don't know what's going to
Right.
happen, nobody knows what's going to happen exactly, unless once again the great beings know, the high beings know, mighty archangels, avatars, but in flesh, the biggest focusing, but the best to be done, if you can put it that way, this is America. Yeah, this is America. This is America. This
Well,
is really,
we only have just a few more minutes left, and I want to make sure that we tell the people out there, we can't, some of us can predict the future, but we don't know the future. But self-awareness is something they can work on now, and I'm sure people would love to maybe get to know you or come to you for a healing. Who could you tell us how they might be able to do that, or
they can
learn
always
from your teachings, or?
get in touch with me and with information that I have the internet, NickyTheHealer.com, Nicky The Healer YouTube video. I have a lot of information. Once they remember just my name, and I can always just pop up at the internet, so I have a lot of information on the internet, and if someone really wants it, it's welcome. Yes, I'm very affordable, and small service than charge. Just I'm asking for something, just to keep me going.
Right.
I
Excellent.
don't want to get rich with this. I'm asking for something between $20 and $40. I can put it that
wow.
way.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, there always needs to be an exchange of energy of some sort.
Yes.
Too, it can't just be you constantly giving out, and there not being something that comes back to yin yang that energy.
Yeah. Well, I want to use that occasion now with the show that if somebody, I've been looking for a sponsor for a long time to become completely free healer. If somebody really want to do that just to meet my material needs, my real wish is to become free healer,
There you go.
But
But
how in this material world?
Right.
It's difficult, yeah. So, but I like to have that joke about my charge that sometimes people suggest, $20, $40. I said, well, it's your choice, New York steak or your healing. You choose a New York steak at restaurant, which is about $20.
That's true.
Or you choose your healing, and they're just laughing. Those who are not ready, sometimes they might respond, I prefer the New York steak. I said, enjoy your steak. But most of the people respond in a good way. They say, wow, this is indeed, truly, this is small service than charge. Yeah, I don't want to get rich with this. I just want to do my service.
Well,
Because it's once again, karma is something very personal.
Right.
Yes,
no
it
one
is.
can make the other people's karmas better.
Right.
Something
That's
very
right.
individual, very personal.
Well, I
yes.
may have to give you a call myself, and I know Eddie and I are both, and all the people listening today, and the people in the chat room are loving you and really enjoying what they hear, and some have even participated in the healing. So we're honored to have you here, and I know we'd love to have you back again. So
Yeah,
I'll
thanks,
be happy
Nicky.
to participate if I'm invited. Thank you. The pleasure was mine. Thank you for the invitation, and thank you for your work. You're doing great work.
Well, thank
Great
you.
work, which is part of the awakening, spiritual awakening, something the most important part.
Mm.
Because without spiritual awakening, there's no spirituality.
And it would be a
Yes.
hell of a world
It sure would.
without it.
We need to
And-
get the awakening,
And if you want to find out,
then to step on the pedal of the spiritual path.
Right.
Yeah. So with your show, that's what you're doing. You're doing mass spiritual awakening.
Well, thank you so much. Well, we appreciate you. The audience loves you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you.
And,
Thank you.
So we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we have two amazing psychic mediums and tarot card reader. Could you
Yep.
tell us who we have? Eddie?
absolutely, we have celebrity intuitives Jamie Gibson and Eli Bay. They're going to be here doing readings for the listeners who want to call in and ask for intuitive readings during the show. We're going to start them out with call-ins about 10 after the hour.
Yes. So make sure you get your pen and paper out. And we're going to take a quick break. And don't you go anywhere. Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie right here on Universal Broadcasting. Be right back.